Hello, and welcome to Round 4 Flicks. In this video, we'll discuss some of the best and lesser-known action movies that we believe every fan of the genre should watch. This top 10 list has movies with compelling plots, action, adventure, humor, and other elements. Please comment on how many of the films on this list you have seen as well as your favorite. Let's get started today's video. Number 10. The Siege of JADOTTVILLE. Richie Smith is the director of this action-packed war movie. The story takes place in 1961. When a civil war first erupted, the United Nations sent a battalion of Irish soldiers, under the command of Commander Pat Quinlan, to Katanga to protect the residents of a village named JADOTTVILLE. At the same time, French and Belgian forces are engaged in an operation known as Operation Mortar. Quinlan and his soldiers attempt to repel a massive assault by French and Belgian mercenary warriors. With its stunning cinematography and exciting action sequences, the movie is remarkable and will keep you on the edge of your seat. The historical elements of the plot work in the movie's favor and further enhance it. Unquestionably a Netflix hidden treasure, the story is excellent and sincere. Number 9. Veteran. It is an action comedy movie under Ryu Soon-won's direction. JADOTTVILLE, a young man who is raised in a wealthy family and still commits nearly every type of crime, is the main character of the story. He tries to negotiate his way out of every situation, and almost always succeeds. JADOTTVILLE, an investigator, discovers him shortly after and decides to learn more about his wicked network. The plot may appear simple and like a conventional police procedural, which it is, but it also has a ton of side storylines. It is one of the best Korean movies you will see from start to finish. It is a fantastic film that strikes the perfect harmony between serious scenes and subtly amusing elements and twists. Number 8. Robin Hood. It is an action-adventure movie that Ridley Scott has directed. The story centers on Robin Longstride, a great archer who travels to Nottingham where the locals are subjected to tyranny and forced to pay high tolls. While there, he falls in love with Marion, a captivating woman who is suspicious of his motives later in the story, hoping to win her heart and save the town. Later, Robin joins a group of fighters to fight corruption in Nottingham, unaware that they would soon be engaged in battle against the corrupt officials. The story is passable, but the excellent, well-known, and brilliant actors elevate it. Russell Crowe is clearly a great performer, and the excellent action sequences and the music perfectly fit the visual grandeur of the picture. Number 7. Game Night. John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein are the directors of this action comedy movie. The story centers on Max and Annie's typical game night, which turns serious when Max's brother Brooks hosts a murder mystery party with fictitious criminals and police officers. While this is all intended to be fun, when Brooks is kidnapped, strange things start to happen. And as contestants try to solve the mystery, they realize that neither Brooks nor the other participants are what they initially appear to be. Along with Max and Annie, over the course of one crazy night, as each unforeseen event leads to another, the participants start to doubt everything about the game. The murder riddle, whether it is fake or real, keeps you interested, while the funny plot is unexpected turns that are full of humor and action, even though the movie contains more humor than action. Number 6. In the Heart of the Sea. It is an action-adventure movie that Ron Howard directed. The story is set in 1820 and follows a group of crew members who are on board the England boat Essex when a whale of enormous size and power destroys their vessel, leaving them stranded in the open sea. In the aftermath, the group is pushed to their breaking point and must turn to the unimaginable in order to survive storms, hunger, terror, and desperation. Meanwhile, the crew tries to bring the enormous whale down, and the skipper searches for directions on the wide sea. And in Hemsworth, Chris Holland, Tom Brendan Gleeson and Cillian Murphy on screen together. Don't go with the poor rating. The film is highly enjoyable and has a fantastic survival plot packed with wonderful visuals, action, and emotion. It is a must-see on this list. Number 5. Overlord. It is an action horror movie with zombies and a horror element along with some intense action sequences. Julius Avery directed it. The story centers on soldiers who were sent into enemy territory to dismantle a radio network, but as the soldiers move closer to their objective, they start to realize that there's much more going on. Soon after, they find a basement laboratory and a diabolical operation that drives them into a bloody conflict with a legion of zombies. In general, action movies are made for entertainment. So if you're hoping for a compelling narrative, you're probably going to be disappointed by pretty much all of them. So if all you're looking for is action, you'll enjoy these films. Number 4. The Last Stand. This Kim Ji-woon directed crime action thriller is one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's neglected action movies. And it's very great. All of this starts with a dangerous gangster escaping from custody and speeding towards the border with a captive and a fierce force of street gangs in tow. The movie centers on a small-town sheriff Ray Owens and his officers as they attempt to stop a violent mob boss from fleeing to border inside a customized racing vehicle. Unluckily, his escape route went through Ray, where the entire police force still has one more chance to catch him before he permanently leaves the country. Owens initially resisted getting involved, but in the end he is forced to catch the culprit, even though it doesn't have a big budget or any extraordinary action. Arnold fans should still watch this movie because they will undoubtedly enjoy the chase moments and pure adrenaline-fueled action it offers, but keep your expectations low. Number 3. The Commuter. It is an action drama film, directed by John Cole-Atzera. The story follows Michael as he travels on his usual train home, but things quickly take a dramatic turn when he gets a call from someone asking him to discover the identity of a secret passenger before the last stop or face terrible consequences. As he scrambles to figure out the clue and find the passenger, he discovers a terrible scheme is underway and unknowingly becomes involved. The acting of Liam Neeson is superb, and the action in this movie never fails to keep you interested. The film features exhilarating action sequences that are expertly coupled with Michael's skills as he strives to find the traveler and save everyone. While some of the events seem a little improbable, they are interesting enough to overlook. Number 2. The Protege. The film is an action mystery thriller, and Martin Campbell is the director. The protagonist of the story is Anna, who was raised by the notorious killer Moody, who taught her how to survive, turning Anna into the most skilled hired assassin in the nation. Despite this, when Moody, who was like a father to her, was killed in cold blood, Anna vowed vengeance and set out to find those responsible. However, during the course of her mission, she comes into contact with a mysterious killer. As mysteries and a connection from the past are revealed, their showdown turns deadly. Although the plot is predictable and typical, it shouldn't really matter if we are only going to watch the movie for the action and thrills. Number 1. Night Hunter. David Raymond is the film's director, and it is an action thriller. The story revolves around Marshall Rachel and Stanley Tucci, two police officers who are looking into an odd case. On the other side, Cooper, a vigilante, is hunting down violent criminals in his own way. Cooper's efforts lead to the identification of a serial killer, and soon both the police and the vigilantes found themselves embroiled in a dangerous plot involving a questionable individual who has ties to decades of female kidnappings. Saying much more would be a spoiler for the movie's main premise, which is essentially that Henry Cavill, a well-known actor, is in the cast of Night Hunter, a respectable serial killer drama with exciting action. Overall, it should be enjoyable for the majority of viewers who appreciate action and thriller movies. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe to our channel to view more videos about recommended movies and television shows.